What if the choices you believe are completely yours were already being shaped before you became conscious of them? The disturbing truth about free will is that psychology, neuroscience, genetics, environment, and unconscious brain activity may influence your decisions far more than you realize. Studies suggest your brain can begin making choices milliseconds before you're even aware of deciding. From your habits and emotions to your beliefs and desires, much of human behavior may be driven by hidden forces operating beneath conscious awareness. This raises one of the deepest questions in philosophy and science. Are we truly in control, or are we simply experiencing the illusion of choice? Today we will talk about the disturbing truth about free will. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The question that shakes human identity. Few ideas feel more natural to human beings than the belief in free will. Most people wake up every day assuming they consciously choose their actions, thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. The feeling of control appears so real that questioning it can feel deeply unsettling. Human society is built around the assumption that individuals freely decide what they do. Laws, morality, punishment, achievement, and personal responsibility all depend heavily on this belief. However, philosophy, psychology, and neuroscience have increasingly challenged the traditional understanding of free will. The disturbing truth is that many of the decisions people believe they consciously make may actually be heavily shaped by forces outside their awareness. Genetics, environment, unconscious brain activity, emotional conditioning, childhood experiences, social influence, and biological impulses may guide human behavior long before conscious awareness enters the process. 2. How the brain makes decisions before you do. One of the most disturbing discoveries related to free will comes from neuroscience experiments studying brain activity during decision-making. Researchers found that the brain often begins preparing actions before individuals become consciously aware of making a choice. In famous experiments conducted by Benjamin Libet, participants were asked to make simple decisions, such as moving a finger whenever they wanted. Brain scans revealed measurable neural activity occurring fractions of a second before participants consciously reported deciding to act. This finding shocked many scientists and philosophers, because it suggested that unconscious brain processes may initiate decisions before conscious awareness experiences them. In other words, the feeling of choosing might occur after the brain has already begun preparing the action. Later studies expanded on these findings, with some experiments predicting decisions several seconds before participants consciously recognized them. 3. The hidden power of genetics and biology. Another disturbing truth about free will is the enormous influence of biology and genetics on human behavior. People often believe their personalities, preferences, emotional tendencies, and behavioral patterns are entirely self-created. However, genetics strongly affect temperament, intelligence, emotional sensitivity, risk-taking behavior, impulsiveness, mental health vulnerability, and even social behavior. A person does not choose their genes, brain chemistry, hormonal systems, or nervous system structure before birth. Yet these biological foundations heavily shape how individuals experience the world and respond to situations. 4. Environmental conditioning and the illusion of independent thought. Human beings like to believe they think independently, but psychology repeatedly demonstrates how strongly environment shapes beliefs, desires, habits, and decisions. From childhood onward, people absorb values, behaviors, fears, language, social norms, religious ideas, and cultural expectations from their surroundings. Family systems, education, media, friendships, trauma, economic conditions, and social pressures all influence the development of identity and decision-making patterns. Most people never consciously choose the environment that shaped their early minds, yet these experiences deeply influence future thoughts and actions. Advertising manipulates consumer behavior, social media shapes opinions, peer groups affect identity, and emotional conditioning influences daily decisions in ways people often fail to recognize. Psychologists have shown that even simple environmental changes can strongly influence behavior without conscious awareness. People may believe they are making fully rational decisions while actually responding to subconscious conditioning. Number 5. The unconscious mind controls more than you think. One of the most disturbing discoveries in psychology is how much of human behavior operates unconsciously. Conscious awareness represents only a small fraction of total mental activity. Beneath awareness, the brain constantly processes emotions, memories, instincts, fears, desires, habits, and automatic behavioral patterns. Many actions happen without deliberate conscious control. People often justify decisions logically after making them emotionally or subconsciously. This phenomenon is called rationalization, where the conscious mind creates explanations for choices already influenced by unconscious forces. The unconscious mind also controls countless automatic behaviors, such as emotional reactions, body language, social responses, habits, and internal biases. Even attraction, trust, and first impressions are often formed subconsciously before conscious reasoning occurs. 6. Free will, morality, and personal responsibility. If free will is limited or partially illusory, difficult moral questions immediately appear. Human society depends heavily on the belief that people freely choose their actions, and therefore deserve praise or punishment. Legal systems punish criminals because they are assumed responsible for their decisions. Success is celebrated because achievement is viewed as earned through personal effort and discipline. However, if choices are strongly shaped by genetics, upbringing, brain chemistry, social conditioning, and unconscious processes, responsibility becomes philosophically complicated. This does not necessarily mean people should avoid accountability, but it challenges simplistic ideas about blame and moral superiority. Someone raised in violence, poverty, trauma, or neglect may develop behavioral patterns very different from someone raised in stability and support. Likewise, biological predispositions can strongly affect impulse control and emotional regulation. 7. Why the illusion of free will feels so real. Despite all these challenges to free will, the experience of choice still feels incredibly real to most people. Human consciousness naturally experiences decisions from a first-person perspective. Individuals feel themselves thinking, evaluating options, and making choices. This subjective experience creates a strong sense of agency. Psychologically, the brain may create this feeling because it helps organize behavior, maintain social order, and support motivation. Believing in personal control often increases confidence, responsibility, goal setting, and persistence. Some philosophers argue that even if unconscious influences exist, conscious reflection still plays a meaningful role in shaping behavior over time. Others suggest free will may exist in a limited form rather than as complete independence from causation. The brain is likely not entirely free, but neither is it entirely powerless. 8. The deepest truth about human freedom. The deepest truth about free will may be that human beings exist in a complicated middle ground between control and influence. People are not entirely independent agents detached from biology, psychology, and environment. At the same time, they are not merely helpless robots without any ability to reflect or adapt. Human behavior emerges from an enormous interaction between unconscious systems, life experiences, genetics, social influence, emotional conditioning, and conscious awareness. The disturbing realization is that many thoughts, desires, fears, and behaviors arise automatically before conscious control enters the picture. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.